everybody, how's it going? Welcome to my third vlog, well, Talks with Lizzy. It was supposed to be a podcast, but my shit got hacked, so now I'm doing vlogs. So, this week we're doing, this one is called Project Summer Lovin. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff to do this summer. Sorry, I'm in my PJs. I work for Amazon and just worked 10 hours. So I had a hat on. I look like a hot mess. I don't care. We're doing this damn thing. Alright, so before I get into Project Summer Lovin', I just want to let you know I did pick a podcast topic in advance. We are doing next week, it's going to be called Pop Culture Packs a Punch. And I'm going to be talking about different areas like musicians, actors, athletes, authors, all kind of public speakers, light workers. Again, I'm only sticking to current stuff. I might do one for past, and I could do different time periods, but we're going to talk about pop culture right now, present in 2023, the trending people and the top of their fields. I'm going to talk men and women. I'm going to talk to you about who I think is a light worker, what impact I think they are putting on this earth, and some of their future projections. And I'm going to be calling out some people that I think are, I have light workers and dark workers. So these are people that are working in the dark, putting negative stuff in the world. I'm going to talk to you about people in today's world that you should be cautious about, and some future predictions and what I think they made an impact. And we're going to get into that next week. Again, that one is called Pop Culture Packs a Punch. These will always be on Monday. I will post them before 10 a.m. because I have to be asleep before 10 a.m. So I know that it will definitely be done. So stay tuned for that one. I'm excited. I researched these over the weekend, so I haven't even started. I have to, all week I'm going to be like, which one am I doing? Because, I want to go to different areas, even though they're, sports technically isn't pop culture, but you know what I mean? Famous people. Alright, so let's get into Summer Lovin'. Let's get into, basically, I researched in the United States the best things to do in the summer, and a lot of the basic stuff came up, like Hershey Park theme park that's normally cold. Any theme park that is in a cold area, go ahead and visit that in the United States. During the summer, I would stay away from Disney, although if you go to Disney World in the summer, there is not a lot of lines. You don't have to wait. It's really, really hot though, but it is usually cheaper, and there isn't a lot of people except around the 4th of July, because I think they do fireworks and stuff. So don't quote me on 4th of July, it might be expensive, only because I know that they do something for the kids. But so I'm not going to talk about those things, no amusement parks. A lot of what was popular and what's trending this year is theme parks. I'm sorry, not theme parks, state parks. A lot of people are buying, in the United States, you can buy state by state, or you can buy a pass, which includes all the state parks in all the 51 states. Yes, there is 51 states. You have to count Puerto Rico. Anyway, so I looked at the best ones for people said what are the best parks to camp at, what are the best views, what has stuff for everybody to do. So I'm going to break that down real fast for you. They're very famous parks, but in case you haven't heard of it, Google these more on your own if you want to go. But a lot of people rent RVs now instead of buying them, because you don't have to like pay for the upkeep all year, pay to store it. Sometimes they do really reasonable rates after like Memorial Day, but summer is their prime time for RV rentals. So just know there is going to be a seasonal incline if you are renting RVs. But you don't need an RV. A lot of these state parks still have tent camping. You can even like a lot of people these days are buying those old caravans and like putting, or not even caravans, you can use a truck, like the old hatchback trucks, like getting them for cheap and just sleeping in that or camping in that, not even in parks, just like when you're traveling between amusement parks, you can stay in truck stops too. That's it's a little dangerous, but if you are like there as a family and you're really safe and you sleep with your car locked, but I would still, it's a risky world. Anyway, let's get into the parks. You have the famous ones like the Grand Canyon National Park is a really good place to visit. In general, it's one of the world wonders, if you will, or at least everyone at least should see. I've never seen it in person, but I want to stand there and be like, hello! I feel like everybody should do that. So that would be a really great family trip as well. But the best parks, we have Yellowstone National Parks because of the Old Faithful eruptions that go off. It has its own version of the Grand Canyon that you can explore. It has, like I said, hot springs and spas and salt spas. Like you can go in heated natural salt springs, and that's very holistic, right up my alley. I definitely want to do that one day too. They have wild animals, RV and campgrounds. They also have rental cabins. There's a rodeo nearby if your family wants to like experience a real rodeo. And then they have a Wild West Arts Fest. Google, I'm not sure if it's all summer. I couldn't get a definite answer because I didn't like zone in on it. But if you have kids that really love the Wild West, Google when they do the Art Fest, if it's all summer, if it's like a month. That would be a really cool thing for little kids to do. Also, museums do a lot of stuff in the summer to draw people in, especially if you live in a colder climate. It's really expensive to go to a museum in the winter because that's peak season. A lot of people are doing indoor stuff. So if you want to see some really cool like I know that sometimes the Science Museum does dinosaur exhibits in the summer, and little kids love dinosaurs. I know they do it again in winter, but I think they bring them back in summer because they know that one's a hit. They could do it twice a year and make money. But they do really cool stuff because they really are trying to make money over the summer. They know kids are off. Rainy days happen. They hit up the parents with good, they sometimes send out electronic coupons if you join their memberships. We have a science museum called The Most. They do stuff every year. They're changing stuff, and a lot of museums are doing that to keep people coming back. So check out your local museums in your area because, like I said, rainy days happen with your kids, and they do really a lot of cheap deals over the summer because they want you to come in. They need you to keep spending money there. And sometimes they host concerts and puppet shows and magic shows at the zoo. The zoo is a popular place in the summer because of our season. But if you're in a summer place, it's the opposite for you. In the cooler months, your zoos are popular. Oh my God, my throat just popped. But if you are in a hotter climate, a zoo would be a good place. It's a lot hotter, but they have cheaper rates. Look at off-season stuff. Google in your area local museums, children's museums, and local events. I know each town around me has different events. You can search by county in the United States. You can search by state. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on the United States and travel stuff because a lot of people like to Google that stuff. But Zion National Park, Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Mount Rainier National Park, and Glacier National Park because it has 700 plus lakes and 200 waterfalls. And the average daytime temperatures are low 80s. But there's still snow in the higher elevations, so if you've never seen snow, you can still go there in the summer and see snow. They have long view filled, they have driving routes with just scenic shit, so you can go on a family drive and just look at some cool stuff and stop and get out and drive a little bit more. That's really cool. They have kayaking, canoeing, hiking trails. I just thought that was cool. I know a lot of people heard of Glacier National Park, but not a lot of people know how many waterfalls, 200 waterfalls, 700 lakes. I definitely want to go there one day too. All these parks I've never been to myself. My mom has been to almost every park, and she highly recommends a lot of these. But San Diego, California got a lot of hits too, because it has a lot of shorelines to beach at. You can travel to different beaches. It's great for foodies and bar drinkers. It has an amazing bar scene. It has 150 craft beer breweries that you can visit. They have a world-renowned zoo. Bar Harbor, Maine got a lot of hits as well. This is a tranquil paradise known for its coastal beauty. It has a pleasant high 70s. So it just stays at high 70s, so it's not too sweaty. That's perfect weather for me. You can hike, eat, boat, shop. There's a bunch of history and there's a bunch of nightlife. So check out Bar Harbor, Maine. I never heard of it before my search. I didn't know that San Diego, California was such a summer place because I thought California would be really hot, but it's cooler because of the coast being right there. Of course, I'm going to plug Adirondacks, New York, but it actually did make the top 10 list for summer because of our amazing views, our hiking, our camping. You cannot beat. I go up there by train. It's about an hour, 2 hours away from me. They have a beautiful village to go there in the winter. If you're from California and you want the true north, it's a fucking bitter freeze and you have to take an old school train there or a modern one. It's just an awesome experience in summer and winter for Christmas. Particularly, they have a little town. The deer come right up. They'll eat out of your hand. And they have quaint little shops all the way down. They do a tree lighting. I recommend it if you are a Christmas diehard to go there at least once in your life. But they have log cabins to rent if you're not a camper. You can sometimes see the northern lights. Google when they have it, particular times of year. Alright, so Seattle got a lot of hits because there's less rain in the summer. They also have that low 70s, which is nice and cool, but not too cold. They have city life and nature life, abundant things to do in both, and you don't have to drive very far to do both. So you can spend half of the day in the city, you can spend half of the day in nature, you can boat there, you can visit a beach. There's 1,000,001 things to do in Seattle. It's the city to go to in summer. Hilton Head, South Carolina got a lot of hits. It has the best resorts for summer. It has amazing golf courses and tennis courts if you're into that. If you're a bird watcher, this is the number one place to go for bird watching. They have amazing city nightlife. If you're into the bar hopping scene, there's a bunch of fishing and horseback riding if you're into that. And then Cannon Beach, Oregon. Cannon, Cannon. Cannon Beach, Oregon. There's a lot of surfing and rock climbing if you're into that. They have a bunch of gray whales. So there's a bunch of whale boats and whale watching stuff. Again, with the nightlife and shops. And they also have a bunch of cool history if you're into that. The best cities to visit in summer because they're normally cold in the winter months. Chicago, Illinois is a great place to visit in the summer months. Of course, New York City. It's not as packed, so you don't have to like deal with a lot of the locals because they kind of get out of there for the summer, and everything's open. You don't have to worry about anything being closed unless it's under maintenance or for weather. Fairbanks, Alaska got a lot of hits. Juneau as well. You can see the northern lights there as well. Portland, Maine is a great city to see in the summer. Boston and Cape Cod, Massachusetts, because of their views. I was talking too fast, and I ate my food too fast, I feel like. All right, so let's talk about how can we save money. This one's very short. Let's get this out of the way. How can you save money by not having a gym membership over the summer? Of course, there's the simple stuff. You can go for walks, you can go for runs, bike rides, rollerblading. A lot of the high schools, at least in my area, the schools, once they close, sometimes they let people walk the track, but you might want to call and ask. On rainy days, like you can go to a mall and walk. Find any kind of building with like stairs and go up and down the stairs. Rock climbing, going up and down hills, it's great. I'm hiking for fitness this summer because my job is really physical. So on my days off, I don't really want to do a bunch of physical stuff, but I love being out in nature, so I'm just gonna hike. Hiking is great because you got uphill, you got a little of this, a little of that. Mix it up. You can also go to the park with your kids and do pull-ups with the monkey bars. Just like parkour around your city or your park. Swimming is really great. Going to the public pool and just doing laps, water aerobics for the more senior crowd. You can literally just draw the hopscotch and do that. That's a great leg work and a butt workout. I just find the greatest thing to do is like since it's nice weather, park further from as far out from stores as you can. That you can still stand if you're carrying your groceries. Take stairs instead of elevators. Go for a walk every night, every morning. Go for a bike ride after dinner. Just making yourself get out can easily replace a gym membership in the summer months. Let's see. Oh, also you can just play sports. Like you don't have to join leagues. Like you can just start a nightly game with your family. Like we're gonna play football tonight. We're gonna play soccer. Get everybody involved in fitness. You can invite your neighbors. You can invite your siblings over and make it like a summer thing to do. The best places. I just did overall countries that you should Google for Europe. Or anywhere not in the United States. Obviously, Canada is a big hit because they get cold like us. So if you've ever been to Canada or if you want to search Canada or explore it, summer months are best for that. We got Switzerland, Sweden, Russia, because obviously those are cold. Germany, Poland, Iceland, Greenland, the Netherlands, France, and Greece are the best places to visit in the summer months. Also, the famous ones were in there, like England. I feel like everybody goes there. Ireland and Scotland are another one that are kind of colder sometimes or wet during certain parts. So summer months might be. Google. Where are you interested in going? What's the best time of year? Look for the summer ones. I didn't get too much into it because, like I said, people like to pick where they're going. I just wanted to give you some ideas. Let's talk about ways you can entertain your kids this summer on a budget, on like rainy days, camping trips, or just things you're looking to do with your family or people you love. Getting outside and doing tie-dyes is amazing. Everybody loves it. It's also a great way to get rid of dingy clothes, curtains, blankets, tablecloths. You can tie-dye anything. You can buy a kit. It's cheap. The kits make a lot of stuff. And, it's a memory. Everybody loves doing it. On a simple day, you could have a sidewalk chalk art contest with your kids. Sidewalk chalk is pretty cheap. You can also buy bubbles and do a bubble blowing contest. You could do jump rope and make up your own jump rope routines with your kids. You can have a fire in your yard after dinner and make s'mores. That would be a fun little dessert and a memory. You can make and decorate bird houses and fill them up every day. You know, kids love birds and animals and critters. You can also make wind chimes together and you can give them out as gifts. You can, if your kids want to make a little money and you want to get them out of the house, they could like rake the yard, mow the lawn, take the trash out, clean the gutters, clean your windows, all the outdoor stuff, clean up the yard, pick up all your toys, you know, all the crap you don't want to do. Teach them how to weed your garden, teach them how to garden. Planting is another great thing to do with your kids. That was next, planting and gardening. Kickball, that's a family thing everybody can do for all ages. You can build a tree fort with your kids or just a fort in general. You can do a scavenger hunt inside or outside. You can do a fake archaeology site and like go to the dollar store and spend a couple bucks on like those little dinosaurs and some toys and like throw them in the sandbox, and you can like make them, string them up, like get some string and they can make squares and give them some toothbrushes. You know, kids love that crap. You know what I mean? Put an old tote, like one of the Sterilite totes, fill it up with water, give them a bunch of dishes. They just like to play in water. It's cheap, it's fun. Water balloons as well, squirt gun fights, slip and slides. You can do like a fake crime scene as well. Like, who killed them? Like, kid style, like, don't make it too gory. Like, you can, like, put a stuffed animal. Who killed the teddy bear? We need to solve this crime, kids. You know, they love that crap. That's great to do on camping trips. Like, you can do scavenger hunt through the woods, and they can, like, find treats on the trail. Like, kids love that crap. They eat it for breakfast. They will be so hard into it. You can take your kids rollerblading or roller skating. Teaching them new skills like that is really great. Teaching them roller hockey. Of course, every night you could go for bike rides, walks. You can just hit up your local park and play. You can make your own ice cream. They're pretty cheap. You can order one on Amazon for like $30 and a kit for like $12. You can make your own ice cream this summer. You can also buy a cotton candy machine and make your own cotton candy with your kids. Those are only like $20. You can get like a popcorn maker and a screen projector and do movies in your yard, or just, you know, I would buy a popcorn maker, like a countertop one, because if I had kids, I would be watching movies and eating popcorn all the time. Like, you could use that all year round. That's a great investment. If you do like popcorn, it's not a high-fat snack for the kids, so it's really good, healthy. You can do all kinds of different popcorns. They have gluten-free. You can make your own bubbles. You can make your own like slime or Play-Doh on rainy days. Kids love that. Just Google the recipe. It's very easy. The ingredients aren't that expensive. Finger painting, paint by number, all those stuff you can find at the dollar store. Like those old like make your own rug things. Boondoggle. Teach your kids how to make keychains. Making jewelry. All those you can buy and just stick them in the RV. And on those rainy days, you can just be like, hey, who wants to, you know, make jewelry? Board games are great as well, RV or at camp or at home. Rainy days are at nighttime. Fishing. Fishing poles are pretty great priced. If you go to like Walmart, you can get kids ones. Kids love to fish. They're not great at sitting still, but they just like to keep casting it. You know, they'll just let them go. You can buy water games to play in the pool. That'll keep them busy. You can have a pool party or a cookout just to have some fun. Build a volcano outside or science experiments outside. Google some cool stuff on a budget. You can like literally science experiments on a budget with my kids. You can do a bunch of stuff outside. You can teach your kids to like clean up the environment but also make money cleaning up balls and cans. I used to go to the golf course, and because we don't have anything too crazy around here that's going to like eat your kids, I used to swim and get all the balls that went into the water, and then I would sell them back to the golfers. But if they catch you doing that, they yell. So, kids. I was a ghetto kid. I was always hustling for something. You can have a lemonade stand. Your kids can sell their crafts. A really cool thing to do with your kids is to go find some rocks and paint them and like inspirational stuff and just leave them around your town, leave them around parks. You can also do that with seashells and just paint them and give them as gifts. Kids love doing that kind of stuff, and you can find them anywhere. Garage sailing is everybody loves doing that. Kids or adults. Going to bingo, they have a lot of bingo halls. Just Google, like, you can win money. The kids love it. Sand art is really great to do outside. Washable grass painting, non-toxic, is a new thing. Like, you can literally paint your grass, and when it rains, it just disintegrates. It won't hurt the environment. Paper lanterns, if your kids or you are dealing with grief, that would be a good thing to do. They're just fun to light off in the summer. Flashlight tags as well. Sparklers, glow sticks at night. Kids love that stuff. Let's see. Sprinklers and small pools, you can always find those if you have like a little yard or you just don't have a lot of money to like buy pool passes. You can always find those for cheap. Electric bikes are very popular this summer. Kids video cameras are a big hit. You can find them for like $30, and like kids are like shooting movies outside, and I think this is so awesome because I used to do that. I don't know where all my movies were. I think I just like left them when we moved. Like, I wish they were probably stupid as fuck, but it would probably be hilarious to see what the fuck I recorded. But like, your kids love doing that stuff. You can like play school or house. You can save like cans and stuff that aren't too grimy. Your kids can play store. Soccer is a great thing to play in the summer. I think that's all that I got for that. Okay, this is good places to visit in your area to do around the summer, like for rainy days or things to do this summer with your kids, or just with your friends. Go-karting. I know they have places in the mall a lot, but there's a lot of outdoor go-karting and putt-putt. Definitely look into that, going for ice cream as well. Laser tag is great to do, or just the arcade in general, like Dave & Buster's. Then you have places like Billy B's, which is like indoor playgrounds. Look for places like those. They have indoor trampoline centers. Right up the street, we have a rage room. Those are really cool. That's where you just go and you pay money and you can smash stuff with your kids. Your kids freaking love that. They have art classes for cheap during the summer, especially through the YMCA. The YMCA, they have them all over in every state. It's just your local community center. It's really worth investing because you can go there to swim, you can take classes, you can work out. They have a daycare center so you can drop your kids off there and you can go take a class or you can work out. And if you pay the membership, you don't have to pay for daycare while you do your stuff. You can, Board Game Olympics was, I love to do this with my friends. I'd set up with a bunch of board games and you play like 2 or 4 up to like minimum 2, max 4 at each station, and whatever person does well stays, and then you just keep playing for gold in each game. It's fun. Cards or poker nights are great to have. Those are more like winter stuff, but you can do them outside and spice it up in the summer. For like rainy days, kids really love 3D puzzles or puzzles in general. Also, they're just fun to do together. You could do like a murder mystery dinner outside or inside on a rainy day. Or you can make a dinner skit. You can have your kids like set out a bunch of clothes. They can do their makeup and costumes, and they can put on a play for you. They'll literally take all day doing that. Family playing video games together is hilarious, especially the Wii with like the family bowling game. You should have the Wii if you have like a camp. It's a rainy, stormy day, and you can just like family feud it out. I think there's like golf. There's a bunch of games that comes. You don't have to spend a bunch of money anymore. Indoor hide and seek, outdoor hide and seek. You can Google crafts on a budget. You can do those inside on rainier days or outside. Baking. Kids love to bake and frost things. So on a rainy day, you could bake a bunch of cookies and have them frost them, or you can make cookies together. Rice Krispie treats are great to make in the summer. Jello molds, like you can do the Jello the night before, and they can just cut out Jello and eat it. The floor is lava game. The kids freaking love that. Just put a bunch of pillows on the floor, and you can't step on the floor or your feet gonna burn. Like, they'll play that for like an hour. You can build indoor forts. Model cars, like the old box kit, you can still buy those. Those are fun to do. You could do like a family photo shoot, or you can interview your kids. My dad used to do this to us. Like, we would all be playing, like, so what do you want to do when you grow up? And you can like make them pretend to be little reporters, and you get to keep that crap forever. Your kids eat it up. They have fun, and you make some amazing memories. On a really crappy day, you could like have your kids sort their stuff to donate to needy kids. Like, get rid of toys, get rid of clothes, declutter. That's a great thing to do. Movie. Put on a movie. Let's eat some snacks. That's always something good to do with your kids. Or make a home movie with your kids. Like, you guys can literally make a movie together. Playing in the rain never gets old. Just make sure it's not lightning. You can all wash the car together in the rain. Kids love that crap. It takes a little longer, but it entertains them. You could teach yourself or your kids a skill like sewing, knitting, whittling, sewing. I already said that. Quilting is what I meant. You could have a home spa day, do each other's nails and hairs, makeovers. You could rewatch old sports games with your kids, or like sports fights, and have snacks. Again, you can bring the money making inside on rainy days, teaching your kids chores, making a piggy bank, going to the public library that's open all summer and it's free. You could go out to eat for lunch or dinner on a rainy day, or just go to the mall. Magic shows are very popular in the summer. Google those. You could take your kids to Five Below or Dollar Tree and spend their allowance. That spends a little time. Build-A-Bear or Wonderworks, like they can make their own teddy bear. It's a lot of money, but if you have a special occasion like a birthday or someone's in town, you can do voice recordings in the bear. Indoor museums, like I said, have discounts. There's a lot of classes for kids and adults during the summer. Cooking and baking classes are the most popular, and then you have fitness classes like outdoor Zumba, outdoor yoga. Coloring is also a cheap thing everybody loves to do. There's some really cool adult coloring books now. Scrapbooking or vision boards or just making collages on rainy days is fun. It's not fun, but you can clean under the couches and do the baseboards and all the crap that you don't normally clean on rainy days. You can make plans for coming events together on rainy days while you have the time and you're all indoors. You can spend time Skyping and calling people that you haven't talked to. Like, this would be a good time, like, hey, why don't you call your friends from school and see what they're doing? Also, giving your pet a bath. The kids love that, and it occupies them for a while. What else do we need to talk about? So I Googled summer camps, and there's just like a million of them, but the most popular, because there's a lot of cheaper programs or free programs for underprivileged kids. Churches do a lot of summer camps right in your area, as in Monday through Friday. You can drop them off while you go to work, and they play sports and they do a bunch of stuff, and they come home every night. Mostly those are church camps. They also save on daycare as well, but they do still have summer camps for kids. Just do your due diligence, because a lot of these places like take your kids' phones. They don't allow contact within the first 48 hours. It's just like super sketch. So make sure you're doing your research on how they can contact you, if they can keep their phone. Make sure if they have medication that you clearly list your kids' instructions out. You have some to give to the medical professionals, but that you then also give some to your kid in case the medical professionals, aren't fucking very good. Show your kid how to do it as well. There's a lot of really cool music festivals all over. If they're making a comeback this year, I feel like since COVID, this year is amped up. There's not as many as there used to be, but there's more. Google in your area and see which ones you can make. Because I don't know where everybody lives, but there are more this summer than ever before, so get on that now. They're going to sell out. Other really cool things to search as far as festivals, there is a lot of like food and food truck competitions and festivals, and they pop up everywhere, as well as like circuses and local carnivals. Search those and see if there's any like things that you can go to. Reenactments, Renaissance fairs, or like cultural fairs like Irish Fest, Italian Fest, music festivals, sports festivals. Like, look for individual festivals. They do a lot of stuff outside. And again, a lot of concerts outside as well. So just make sure you're Googling and looking for those. Road tripping on a budget. Sometimes renting a car, they have really low rates right now. If you go with a bunch of friends and you rent a car, you're not putting damage on anyone's car. It's covered under warranty if anything happens. You can all split the gas if you go together. You can see a bunch more than you would normally see if you just flew. In the summertime, train and bus fares dip a little bit because a lot of people go on vacations, like road trips in their own cars, and they're trying to promote public transportation. A lot of people take that stuff in the winter or closer to cities. So if you're not in those areas, sometimes you can get some really cool, cheap rates traveling by boat. Sometimes the ferries dip a little depending on the season where you are, just because tourism dips. If your area is popular in the winter, you're going to have cheaper rates during the summer. Plane rides sometimes dip in the summer too as well, because a lot of people are traveling by car and RVs. So pay attention if you check every week and see if those dream places that you can't normally afford that are popular in the winter have really amazing rates in the summer. Just make sure it's not like rain season and it's not going to rain through your whole vacation. and make sure you can still do stuff. But a lot of those places that people go in the winter, I would target in the summer if you can, because that you can afford it. They give great package deals as well. And sometimes like boat cruises to Alaska are more popular in the summer, but like boat cruises to the Caribbean are less popular in the summer and cheaper. See what I'm saying? Google and find out, look at rates, and you'll see what I'm saying. But I hope this was helpful to have you loving your summer out there. And I know it wasn't as interesting, but I wanted to give you some cool and fun, exciting stuff to do with summer right around the corner. Some schools get out in May, mine gets out in June. Colleges or universities get out in May and schools get out in June. But my niece lives in Florida and she gets out in May, but they start earlier because of their weather. So everybody's different. I just wanted to get out in enough time to you before Memorial Day. Remember, next week we are doing Pop Culture Packs a Punch. We're going to talk about light workers and dark workers in all areas, and I'm very excited about that. So if you like these vlogs, please let me know by hitting the thumbs up below. I need your likes. Please help me. I'm begging you. Please like this, share away, subscribe if you like my energy. I do a lot of tarot stuff, but like I said, I was trying to start a podcast and then I got hacked. So now I'm just doing it through YouTube as vlogs because no one can steal it here. Thank you, YouTube, for protecting my stuff. Anyway, I love you guys. See you soon. Have a great day or night. Toodaloo, boo-boos, boy. Oops, wrong button. I almost clicked out and I would have lost it forever and I would have cried.